Ah, ya.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to science class. Severe weather. It's our topic today. Look at the four natural disasters that we have here in this picture. A flood, avalanche, tornado, earthquake, natural disaster. Why natural? Because nature, nature does this. Hurricane. What is a hurricane? A hurricane is a huge storm. It can be up to 600 miles across and have strong winds spiraling inward and upward at speeds of 75 to 200 meters per hour. Each hurricane usually lasts for over a week. That's what happened here in Honduras in 1998. Hurricane Mitch lasted for about a week. Hurricanes gather, oh, okay, each hurricane usually lasts for over a week, moving 10 to 20 miles per hour over to open ocean. Hurricanes gather heat and energy through contact with warm ocean water. See, get energy, so become stronger when they are in contact with the warm ocean water. Evaporation from the seawater increases their power. That's part of the water cycle, right? I have students that are not looking at my presentation. Subak is not looking at my presentation. Sebastian, sit down properly, please. Daniel also was distracted. Ryan, turn on your light. Your light is off. Mire, you are completely dark. ¿Por qué está tan oscuro entonces? Explain me. Look at the other students. No se ven tan oscuro como se ve usted. Okay, so hurricanes rotate like the earth. Rotations is when an object turns into an axis, en su propio eje, axis. So hurricanes rotate in a counterclockwise directions around an eye. This is the eye, the center of the hurricane. This one is the eye of the hurricane. In the northern hemisphere and clockwise directions in the southern hemisphere. The center of the storm, or eye, is the calmest part. So if you are people that have experienced this, know they are exactly in the eye of the hurricane when everything is calm, when there is no wind, no rain, nothing. So they are exactly here in the eye, in the center of the hurricane. And the rest has very strong winds and rain, wind and rain. It has only light winds and fair weather. When they come onto land, the heavy rain, strong winds, and large waves can damage buildings, trees, and cars. Satellite, this one is a satellite image of Hurricane Mitch back in October 1998. Sebastian, sit down properly, second time. The hurricane hunters flew into the eye of Mitch just as this Category 5 hurricane with winds of 155 kilometers per hour smacked into right into Central America. This is the hurricane. Honduras is here. This is Honduras. So Hurricane Mitch has a very unusual path. It enters the country through here. Here it is Bay Island, right? 3 islands here, Bay. Like here, and then when it was in the south, turned back like this, and then went to Nicaragua. This one is Nicaragua. So that's why affected the whole country. I don't know if you have seen pictures about the disaster caused by Hurricane Mitch. Look at this picture. What is happening in this city? What is
Miss, I think that city has an
A
earthquake.
terremoto.
An earthquake, Alan.
Earthquake.
Earthquake. Earthquake
Shaking
question.
a lot.
An
Miss,
earthquake.
when
Mhm.
Miss, when there's a earthquake, sometimes the building can break.
Yes, of course. Of course. Structures structures suffer a lot, and some of the buildings and houses fall down. What is an earthquake? Earthquakes are the shaking, rolling, or sudden shock of the Earth's surface. They are the Earth's natural means of releasing stress. Releases, liberar. So the Earth releases stress, releases store force, fuerza acumulada, energía acumulada. That's what happened. More than 1 million earthquakes rattle is like shake, el shake, rattle the word each year, more than 1 million. But we don't feel all of the earthquakes. Some of them, well, you know that an earthquake has there is a scale that measure the power, how powerful an earthquake is. This one is called Escala de Richter. Some if says 0, okay, 1, 2, 3. Hurricane Mitch was hurricane category 5 in Richter scale. But for example, Mexico, I think, have suffered a earthquake category 7. This one was more deathly. Ooh, thousands of people die in Mexico with these earthquakes. In the 1980s, happened one. But it says here that more than 1 million earthquakes rattle the world each year, but some of them maybe are category 2 or maybe less than 2 or category 3. Some of them happen in the ocean because under the water in the ocean, we have land. There is land. So the land trembles in the ocean, but we don't feel, fortunately, okay, thanks God, we don't feel all the earthquake because they are not so strong. The West Coast is most at risk of having an earthquake, but earthquake can happen in the Midwest and along the East Coast. Earthquake can be felt over large areas, although they usually last less than 1 minute. Yeah, less than 1 minute. Earthquake cannot be predicted. Cannot be predicted. Although scientists are working on it. So probably one day, science will be so, futurist science probably will be able to predict earthquake. But now it is not possible. We don't have the technology yet, but probably we will in the future. What causes an earthquake? There are about 20 plates. Okay, so the earth is divided like into a puzzle. Each piece has a name. Each piece is a plate. It's called a plate, una placa tectónica, along the surface of the earth that move continuously and slowly past each other. When the plates squeeze or stretch, huge rocks form at their edges, and the rocks shift. Shift, it means that cambian, se mueven, shift with great force, causing an earthquake. Think of this way. Think of it this way. Imagine holding a pencil horizontal, pencil, horizontal, this is horizontal. If you were to apply force to both ends, this is one end and this one is the other end. If you were to apply force to both ends of the pencil by pushing down on them, you will see the pencil bend. Okay, if I press this, so in a moment, I am going to make a curve here like this, or make a curve up like that, curve. After enough force was applied, what is going to happen with the pencil? The pencil will break right here in the middle, releasing the stress I have put on it I was pushing them, right? Pushing the twins. The earth crust crust acts in the same way. As the plates move, they put forces on themselves and each other. When the force is large enough, the cross is forced to break. The cross is where we live. We live on the cross. Do you remember part of the earth? Do you? No? The layers of the earth. I think you have seen this one in social studies. No, social studies this year, but in social sociales, here is the inner core, the outer
No, miss,
core.
we haven't seen that.
Okay, the inner core, the outer core, mantle, and finally we have the cross. Here we live on the cross, en la corteza de la tierra, which is the superficial layer. But the plates, these plates are under the cross, between the mantle and the cross. So what are the layers of the earth? Crust, mantle, outer core, núcleo externo, and inner core. So the plates are between these two. Plates are here, the tussle here. Here are the plates between the cross and the mantle. So when this accident, these releases of force happen between the cross and the mantle, we have an earthquake. When the break occurs, the stress is released as energy, which moves through the earth in the force of waves like sound. When we have you ever thrown a rock in the water? This is water. Imagine this is water. This. So because you wanted, you throw a piece of rock here in the middle. The water was stiff and quiet and calm. But because you throw a rock, so you create waves of water, and the water is traveling, the waves. Okay? What happened, Jose Enrique? You are quite smiling. Are you watching something else, Jose Enrique? So that's what it happened. Moves in the form of waves, which we feel and call an earthquake. We feel that waves in the tremble of the earth. That's what we feel. That's how an earthquake happened. See, like this picture. So what do we have here? What do we have? Oh my God, this one, I want to move. Okay, here. What do we have here? See, hypocenter here, epicenter, fault, plane. This is like moving like this. Oh, because faults move differently. Some of the plates are pushing one another, pushing like this. Other plates are separated, are pulling back. Have you ever heard about the stretch, Mariana's Trench? Mariana's Trench. Have you ever heard about Mariana's Trench? I think it says El Estrecho de las Marianas. This one is the deepest point in the ocean. Is something like this. It's like como un abismo. So this one is a fault. Esto es una falla. So what is happening here? The earth is separating. So this one is becoming deeper every year. Se está volviendo más profundo cada año. Because the earth, in this part, the earth is not pushing, is pulling, is moving apart. So it's becoming deeper. You know that if we talk about the ocean represents 100%. Okay, it's a whole. Let's say it is a whole. Okay, 100% of the ocean. Men have investigated or have discovered in a study just 5% of the ocean, only 5%. So we don't know. We don't know anything about the ocean. Anything, just 5%. And what about the 95% left? So we don't know anything about ocean. That's why we have to respect oceans, respect the water.
Miss,
Yeah.
do you know that when that whales are too old, they're too, how you say devil in English?
Weak.
Too weak to go up for air and they drown and they go
To the bottom. They
the
flound.
bottom and some animals that even the man doesn't know. eat
Yeah.
the whale.
Exactly, because you know that every day people die, plants die, animals die in the water and on land, because that's part of our life cycle. All of us will die. It's part of our life cycle. In the ocean, clean, let's just clean, or keep all the creatures inside the water. On land, we have scavengers. You're right? Carroñeros. So that something similar might be inside the water. Something similar might be inside the water. Animals that clean the ocean. Well, unfortunately, one of that animals is shrimps. This one. Have you heard that shrimps are called las cucarachas del mar? Have you heard about that? Shrimps clean. How many times have you ever seen Finding Nemo? How many times have you ever seen that? Probably not enough time. In the movie Finding Nemo, the shrimp inside the aquarium in the dentist's office cleans or eat everything that is the dirt things that are floated in the water are eaten by the shrimp, because the shrimp clean the water. That's his objective. Ese es su trabajo. It was made to do that. So that's why some people call them las cucarachas del mar. Interesting fact.
That exists.
What? Shrimps. What are
Yes.
shrimps? Camarones. Los shrimps son los camarones. Okay.
¿Cómo es las cucarachas del mar?
No. So we have cockroaches here on Earth, and they are called cockroaches. But in the water, they call them shrimps. So it's like an equivalent animal. On land, cockroaches. In the water, shrimps.
But in the shrimps doesn't look like.
I know, they look totally different. Yes, I know. Okay, let's continue. A flood is a rise of water with no place to go. Like this is what happened last Thursday with the heavy rain. That city. What did you say? Okay, but let me continue with the class. This is what happened last Thursday here in Tegucigalpa. We have a heavy rain and some places flood. Se inundaron, unfortunately. So that flood.
Se inundó.
When?
Como ayer, anteayer, en las noticias.
Okay. A flood is a rise of water with no place to go. I need to continue. Floods come in all depth, from just a couple inches to many feet. The power of flood water is extraordinary and lethal. In less than an hour, strong rain can turn an uncle deep creek into an unstoppable 30-foot high. An uncle deep el tobillo. So it means that the level of the water can change from the ankle deep, de esta profundidad, ¿sí? A 30 pies. 30 pies son como una regla que ustedes tienen en casa que tiene 30 inches, tiene 12 pulgadas, 30 centímetros. Eso, una regla es 1 foot. So now pongan 30. Those are 30-foot high swells that overpowers everything in its path. Floods occur all over the world. Causes of floods include hurricanes, broken leaves, or dams. Dams son presas, como las represas. Rapidly thawing snow, ice jam, and heavy, slow-moving rain, or repeating rains. Of course, if it is raining for 5 days, we're going to have a flood, definitely. That would be the result. That's a prediction. A flood can happen in a few minutes, hours, days, or over weeks, no matter how quickly it happened or the cause. Flooding is deadly. Floods kill more people and causes more damage than other severe weather-related events. Many die trying to drive a car or walk through a flooded area. Just 6 inches of water can knock a person off their seat. Just 2 feet of water can carry a car away. 2 feet. 2 feet of water are like 2 rulers. As this one says that 2 feet of water can carry a car away. Se lo puede llevar el agua. Un carro con 2 pies de profundidad. It's incredible. That's why we have to respect water. Let's watch a video related with the topic. So let's complete this chart. Help me out. Natural disaster. The first one, hurricane. Definition. Well, a hurricane is a huge storm. It can be up to 600 miles across and have strong winds spiraling inward and upward at speed of 75 to 200 miles per hour. Which one could be safety tips for hurricane? What do we have to do if we are in a hurricane?
For in hurricane, you need to, for example, get out of the windows, and if your family has a plan, do what the family and get safety. And,
so safety,
and don't go to places where there are windows.
Safety tips for hurricane: we need to board the windows in order to protect them, right? The glasses, okay? As you mentioned, pack an emergency kit, stay away from windows or glass door. If advised to evacuate, leave immediately. The second one, flood. A flood is a rise of water with no place to go. Causes of flood include hurricanes, heavy, slow-moving rain, or repeating rains. What do we have to do if we are in a flood?
You need to go to clean your drains. Go a place and clean your drains. Get safety and get out of there if you can.
Yeah.
And do not go the way where the water is.
Exactly. Definitely we need to pack an emergency kit. We have to clean the drains, but this one we have to do it before. That's why it is important to keep clean the areas. If you can't evacuate, get to safe ground, go as high as you can. And the last one, earthquake. Earthquake is a shaking, rolling, or sudden shock of the earth's surface. Advices, safety tips during an earthquake.
Don't go near walls, electricity things, and trees because they can fall.
But if you remember the video, the man is where? Under what?
On the window.
Under the window. No, the man was
on the door.
First of all, I think we also have to pack an emergency kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other thing?
The man was under the door frame, el marco de la puerta, or under a table.
Yeah.
Okay? Under the table. This one also we need to take it into account no matter what natural disaster is happening, natural phenomenon. We need to try to stay as calm as possible, drop to the floor, and get under the door or the desk. Okay? Avoid windows and elevators during an earthquake. Okay, class, thank you for your attention. See you in the next hour. Bye.